yesterday, man, the Houston Texans, they look good, and CJ Stroud looked really good. And if you're a part of the anti-Stroud contingent and you listen to this show, I will let you back on the bandwagon. But you must apologize. You must bend the knee. This is your opportunity to admit you're wrong. We've watched all the games, and we are not crowning CJ Stroud. We are just saying that his trajectory arrow is as close to straight up as possible. From the first time we saw him in the preseason to where he is 4 weeks into real NFL action, there has been some serious progress, serious strides. And it's not just what he's doing on the field. In a game where there were some throws that he put behind receivers, he did not throw an interception. He also did not take a sack for the second straight week, despite playing behind a wretched offensive line. And I do think it sort of goes to show you, much like with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning early in their careers, how they were very good at not being sacked. There is a skill in avoiding sacks. I think Patrick Mahomes is probably the best in the league when it comes to doing that, generally. It's not just an offensive line statistic like a lot of people make it out to be, like Russell Wilson made it out to be. How's that working for you, Russ? But it's not just what Stroud's doing on the field. I love hearing Stroud talk. I've said this before, even after a week 2 loss, where I asked him about his winning mentality, and Sean Mapes correctly pointed out they are 0-2. Well, now they're 2-2. Stroud said this, it's going to make some of your eyes roll, but he said that he wants Houston Texans fans to feel special.
I want to say, man, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, y'all deserve to feel special. Y'all deserve to root the Texans on. Like, not winning since 2021, I think it was around Christmas, like that ain't flying from like anybody in this building. I want them to know, like, we're fighting our tails off every day to make sure y'all walk around with Texan gear pride. Like, y'all walk around with that swag that we walk around with when we get a dub. And for me, I take that real personal because I don't like being bagged on by my teams. Like, when my Lakers lose, I'll be pissed. So, like, I take that stuff real serious, man. And it's up to us to work every day and put the work in. And like you've seen, I mean, the Steelers fan came and they showed out today in our stadium, and we sent them home. And I think our fans felt the energy. Like, man, we ain't playing today, like from the get-go. So I just want to say, man, like, we're going to keep fighting every day just so y'all can walk around with that swag. I think that's huge, man, for this team. That's something that we want to keep building on. And it's a blessing to be able to be in Houston, like a great town with a lot of stuff to do, great people, Southern hospitality to its finest. And I'm falling in love with the city little by little. So it's a blessing.
Falling in love with this city little by little. The Lakers fan is a red flag. It is.
Also, it sounded like that was Cody that had the media laugh on that one. I don't know. That's just first blush. It sounded like that was Cody that went.
I have no comment on the matter.
Oh, no comment?
I have no comment on the matter. Was it you? I honestly have no idea who laughed.
Oh, okay. It was a A+ media laugh.
He is not wrong in that it has been embarrassing to wear Houston Texans gear recently. Sean, you brought up today that it's been so long since you've worn some of your Texans gear, you came to find out it doesn't even fit you anymore.
Yes, no. I when I went to the Texans game yesterday, or before I went to the Texans game yesterday, I realized that I do not have any Texans paraphernalia since Gary Kubiak was the coach. I don't know if I've added anything new in the rotation.
It's been 10 plus years.
Yes, since I was in high school. I don't think I've bought a Texans shirt.
And you know what? Understandable. It is totally understandable. That's why I liked hearing Stroud say that, because Stroud realizes the truth.
Yeah.
He didn't call out Texans fans for not being there, but that was a lot of Steelers fans there. It might have been majority Steelers fans. I honestly couldn't tell you. The yellow and black pops.
Yeah,
specifically the yellow pops.
Yeah.
But we were both there at NRG Stadium yesterday. Sean in a suite, me way up in the press box. Thanks for the invite. I'm watching this game, and I noticed all these Steelers fans that were there. And to Stroud's credit, again, like, it's embarrassing to wear Texan stuff. Like, I've done it ironically a couple of times. Like, remember when I had my Texans starter jacket to get ready for like a 1-13 like game that they probably lost by like 3 touchdowns last year? Remember when we were trying to give away those starter jackets and no one wanted to get them? And had it been Oilers stuff, I'm sure a lot of people would have actually called in. Like, he's right there. And then he was asked if he believes that the Houston Texans have a chance to compete in the AFC South. And here's what Stroud had to say.
When I was at Ohio State, we used to say Buckeyes against the world. Now I'm bringing this swag here, man, Texas against the world. So it ain't about what they write about us. It ain't like it's about what we put on the field on Sundays, the work we put in. So there's a lot of football to be played still, but we're going to walk around with that swag. We know what we can do. And we're getting a lot of guys back from injury, which is going to help a lot. And for us, man, we're just going to keep fighting, keep battling every game, every day, every little one thing we want to keep battling. So it's just the beginning, and we're just getting started. So excited for the future. Go Texans.
Wow, he ended it with a go Texans. Now that is growth as a leader.
Okay, this is getting a little. I like CJ Stroud. I like a lot of what he says in press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
There are times, just like the end of that clip.
Yeah.
He edges into Russell Wilson territory. It's a lot. He throws a lot of stuff at you, and then it's all like overwhelming positivity, which
Russell
is fine.
Wilson is different. As someone who covered Russell Wilson is one of the fakest people I've ever seen in sports.
Yeah,
he's got a great career in politics ahead of him. Sadly, no one's going to vote for him because he doesn't have the likability quotient. Look, I know that some of you guys are pushing back, but have I ever steered you wrong? Have I ever told you to believe in something that you shouldn't believe in? Am I not rather picky when it comes to the things that I believe in? There is only one team in this city that I actively root for because I'm an elitist. It's the Astros. I would not steer you wrong here. There is something going on with this kid. And yeah, I suppose I could be wrong. And this is not me crowning him. I just think this is going in a great direction. And I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. They're probably going to be 4-2 to start the year. Going into the bye week. Think how effing crazy that is. And it's not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're probably going to, if they win the division, they're probably going to be out in the first round. Whatever. I mean, that's just so much better than it's been the last couple of years. There's a low bar to clear. But I don't know how you can't even start to feel optimistic about Stroud. At least work with me there. The people who are pushing back and saying he's not good, you're idiots. Like those people I have no time for. I have no patience for. I am leaving you behind. But if you want to admit you were wrong with your first impressions of Stroud, you can come with me on the great journey.
Are you Noah? What are you? But you're leaving behind the dinosaurs?
We're leaving them behind.
Okay.
We're leaving the unicorn behind. The unicorn, sorry, too horny. You know, that's why he stayed back. He was trying to get some.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, I thought you meant because of the horn.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you have a horn. You just want to bang all the time, and that's what he was looking to do. Really a great performance by Bobby Slowik, offensive coordinator of the Houston Texans. And yeah, I do think that his name is going to be a part, if this continues, of course, of coaching searches later in the year. Some of the stuff that he was doing in yesterday's game with a wide receiver core that I think we all looked at and collectively shrugged at, best case scenario, if didn't point at and say, this isn't a good unit. It's been great to this point. Nico Collins is 5th in the league in receiving. That's through 4 games now. Tank Dell was used in, I thought, some very creative ways. There was one play early on where they had him in motion 3 to 4 times before eventually giving him the ball for a handoff. And then after that, you also had an offensive line that switched left tackles in the middle of the game, that lost another offensive lineman, Kendrick Green, to injury, that for the second straight week allowed 0 sacks. I think part of that's on CJ Stroud, but also the other parts, Bobby Slowik. And then you heard the defensive side of things. Steven Nelson had that interception, and from there, you kind of knew Pittsburgh was going to have a tough time getting anything going. And while they did have a little bit of success in the third quarter when they started running the football, their passing offense, you could tell from the get-go, was not going to be able to get anything done against the Houston Texans defense that had both of its safeties back. Jalen Petrie was flying all over the place. Jimmy Ward was there too. And also got a good performance from Shaquille Griffin in for Derek Stingley. Across from Steven Nelson, he had 3 deflected passes on the game. I do not think that this is an overreaction. I think this is largely a byproduct of the schedule that the Texans have ahead of them. But based on what we know about the NFL through 4 weeks and some of the injuries that major teams have suffered, the Texans do not have a single unwinnable game the rest of the way. They're going to lose some of these games, but every single one of these games, it looks possible for them to win all of them. The playoffs and the division title are 100% within play. I'm not crazy saying that. Take a look at the schedule for yourself. Who's the toughest team left? 1-3 Cincinnati with banged up Joe Burrow on the road. At the New York Jets, who have a great defense. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is back from his torn Achilles by then with that experimental surgery he's having.
He was at the game.
He was at the game. He did not look happy at the
They only showed him slightly more than Taylor Swift.
That's true. He looked more and more miserable as the game wore on. He's like changing positions.
As Zach Wilson was balling out.
Zach Wilson didn't look bad for a while, but of course the other shoe was going to drop. You
knew, but
you know it was going to happen at some point.
You know.
Someone commented, I believe, on the Twitch. I think it was King of All Twitches, that the Texans defense looked better. It was a good day for the defense yesterday. And yeah, part of it is Kenny Pickett and the Steelers offense. Steelers fans are such bobos. I mean, to Sean's point, like they're cheering for their team.
They're getting loud
on
with
third downs when they're on offense,
yes,
right?
Making it harder on their offense.
And they also thought Kenny Pickett was good going into this year. I mean, come on, people. You've seen a good quarterback before, Ben Roethlisberger. Kenny Pickett, he's the guy. But, I mean, to the Texans' credit, Jonathan Grenard had a couple of sacks. Jerry Hughes had a big sack. They had a big stop on fourth down. They were swarming to the ball. And Steven Nelson at Nelson Island against his old team got an interception. And I had to catch up with Steven Nelson, who I think wanted people to come up to him at his locker room. Not that many people came up to him at first, but he got to play against his old team. So I asked him about that.
Not just a win, an interception against your old team. What was that like?
It was great, man. You know, I'm one of those guys, like, I watch a lot of the greats, Michael Jordan, rest in peace Kobe, man. They look for any little thing to, I guess, have a chip on their shoulder, you know what I mean? So, you know, I keep all receipts, that's what I always say. So just give me an extra little chip.
Andre Ware said on the radio broadcast that was similar to the pick that you made to a play that was in the Raiders and Steelers game. Was that something you had seen on film?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a lot of film study. Like last week, I mentioned, you know, they scored a touchdown on that similar play with same player. Recognized formation and just got a beat on it when we played the ball.
You mentioned keeping receipts for the football dummies like me. Was that man coverage the interception?
Who was back there?
That's in reference to John Crumpler, a Texans online account, complimenting Steven Nelson, and Nelson getting mad because the implication was that he's not good in man coverage. Nelson tweeted this after the game was done at 3:17 p.m. It's since been deleted. Send they ass TF home. They said I wasn't what? Oh, all right. I got receipts. Gas the plane up. I don't sign names, sign dogs. Period. I love Steven Nelson.
I love that. I don't know what it means 100%, but I love that. Whatever that is, I love it.
I love it. I love that they have an irrationally confident cornerback. You need to have one.
Yeah.
And his Twitter handle is @Nelson Island. I love it.
It is now. Yeah, because he's
He needs more
awesome at
interceptions.
man defense.
We need him to get more interceptions because I want him to talk more. I only want to hear from Steven Nelson. That's the only person that I actually think is an entertaining quote on this team. Probably he's a little bit better on social media than he is in the microphone. He was very professional there. You know, I do want him to kind of take it and go Richard Sherman with Michael Crabtree.
Oh yeah.
Next time I'm in the locker room.
Throw to a sorry ass receiver like I don't know. I don't even know who Pat Fryermuth.
Signing a sorry ass corner like Patrick Peterson. #washed. You're not even signing me? Forget about it.
What was it? I run with dogs? What was the thing? I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know what this is.
It's not important enough to look.
I don't sign names. I sign dogs.
Okay, yeah.
You can't sign a dog to a contract.
Oh, wait. No, there's no rule that says the dog can't play in the NFL.
Airbud.
Yeah.
Golden Receiver. What a movie. Sean, I know you have a thought on Steelers fans. We'll get to it in a moment. I want to talk about Steelers fans' terrible towels. So, when I was on my way into the stadium and saw a couple of Steelers fans with their terrible towels, those things must be gross. I saw one man rub his entire head, which had been underneath a hat, with said towel for a good 15 seconds. I also saw somebody else blow his nose into the towel. Now, 2 isolated incidents maybe, but you have to wonder with a towel like that, bright yellow colors, how often are those things washed? Do you not wash it after the Steelers win if you're superstitious? Probably don't. You gotta wash your linens, guys. Linens trap germs, dirt, microorganisms, and I do wonder about the general cleanliness, hygiene of all of those Steelers fans who were there. And I know it's hard. Like, not only did you have Kenny Pickett as your quarterback going into this game, now you have Mitchell Trubisky as your quarterback going out of this game. Either way, you're bleep. But please wash those. Sean, you also had a thought on Steelers fans. You were at this game in a suite. Ooh, I'm Sean Mapes.
Yeah, getting wine to dine. But, yeah, I actually disagree with the texter who said that they were silent since the first drive on. They weren't. There's quite a lot in the first half, but in the third quarter, they started making a run. They started also making a run. They kicked 2 field goals, right?
Right.
What are we talking about?
It felt like they were getting back in the game, though. They were running easily down the Texans' throat.
That is a game that the Texans have lost in the past.
Yes.
But one thing I noticed is that on big third downs, especially I felt like in the red zone when the Steelers were in the red zone. Again, the Steelers have the ball in the red zone, and it is so loud in NRG Stadium, and you think, oh, okay, the Texans fans finally waking up. No, the terrible towels full of snot and sweat are spinning around, hitting other people in the face, being super spreaders, as the Steelers offense has the ball. And I'm ready to slap right now the Pittsburgh Steelers low fan IQ.
Sean, to piggyback off of that, and I wish I was able to get this on my phone, but I don't know if it was the third quarter. It probably was because it was during this time. There was a Steelers offensive lineman who was motioning towards the crowd to pipe down.
I was keeping an eye out to see if Kenny Pickett was going to do it.
An offensive lineman for the Steelers definitely said pipe down.
That again, it's crazy. I thought it was actually a pretty fun atmosphere for the game because it felt like a really good bowl game almost, where it was loud when both teams made a play. Like
Correct.
When either team made a play, it got loud. And I mean, we've all been to a lot of Texans games where the Texans make a big play and it doesn't get that loud.
That is also true. But it was a really impressive performance by the Houston Texans. Pittsburgh Steelers fans showed up, but we're not sure how smart
C-
or how clean they are.
They did a better job than Matt Canada, but
that's not hard
gaming
to
would
do.
faint praise, yes.
Matt Canada is a terrible offensive coordinator, and I got to say, the Steelers deciding to not go for it on fourth down with down 3 scores with
coward play.
10 minutes left.
Yeah.
What a bunch of losers. Seriously. Loser organization, though. I can say that as a Patriots fan. Although, maybe not after today. Yesterday. Yikes. It is over. It is definitely over. Anyway, a couple of comments before we go through really quickly what happened in the NFL. Old Bobby going to end up the head coach in Cincinnati. Talking about Bobby Slowik. That was an A-plus game by Bobby Slowik yesterday. I thought he did a great job. All sorts of different motions to get Tank Dell involved in the running game. I thought that considering the offensive line issues, yet another game where CJ Stroud is not sacked. That's incredible. Stroud deserves credit for that. Sacks are a quarterback statistic. If you are good at avoiding sacks as a quarterback, that's generally the quarterback that is doing that. There are some guys who hold on to the football way too long. Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson,
Watson.
Deshaun Watson, you're right. Stroud gets that ball out. Patrick Mahomes gets that ball out. That is a skill. It is a quarterback statistic. Some more texts. Fishing with Dana says, bleep the Texans. I don't care regardless of the record. Okay, you're going to be missing out on the fun. Although he does seem like he's one of those people that thinks baseball is better than football. And, okay, sure. People are still dumping on the Texans on the Twitch. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised because it's a toxic, negative cesspool. No offense.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
All they like are the Astros.
It is true. And Dusty Baker. And Martin Maldonado. Greg Todd, it was a combination of good offense from the Texans and horrendous offense from the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers' offense was pretty bad. I mean, the first big play of the game that they tried, Kenny Pickett threw it deep to George Pickens or somebody. I don't know who the hell it was. And Steven Nelson just jumped over him and got an interception. And Fuentes Respector says, Stroud may have a 48 IQ, but he can throw strikes. You got to stop dumping on Stroud now. I'm not going to... Honestly, I might ban you if you dump on Stroud. This might be where we actually draw the line here. Because honestly, I think you're an idiot if you think Stroud's not an intelligent player on the field. Oh, his S2 test. Oh, his Wonderlic. I don't even know what his Wonderlic was. Listen to him speak. Pretty eloquent. Watch him play. Pretty damn smart. You're a bozo, honestly, if you're still like digging in and saying, well, actually, you're honestly, you know what? I'll go even further. You're an effing moron. You're a stupid, idiot, dumb a-hole. If you're still one of those people that's like, oh, he's not that good. Like, I don't know what you're looking at. You're just trying to be different for the sake of being different. Cool. You're the person no one wants to talk to at the party.
Yeah, I remember those people that were negative as like a personality. I remember them in high school.
I'm pointing some of them out right now. Junior Broncos is one of them on the Twitch. There is a couple of other ones. Like, you guys are absolute morons if you still are like, oh, Stroud's not smart. Like, no, you're not watching then.